Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. It is Wednesday evening, and I've been I've been in bed the last 3 days. Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, I get home from the ranch. I do my video with my pickups, and that night I started feeling not so great, feeling like something was coming on, and I've been in bed the last really 3 days, and took a test yesterday and found out I had the flu. So thank you, London, for the trip back. Probably getting that. And so if I sound bad, I apologize. I'm actually hope I'm on the tail end of it right now. But during my self-imposed quarantine, I have been watching a lot of videos about the news regarding Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and others that have been reinstated by Major League Baseball. And I've heard a lot of different opinions on that. And it's funny how some people absolutely think guys like Rose and Jackson and Bonds and Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame. Others vehemently oppose that. A lot of people don't care. I think the don't care people are ones that are frustrated just overall with the Hall of Fame process. They think it's been watered down. They think it's been corrupted in a way that's that it doesn't matter. It's not important. They don't elect the right people anyway, yada, yada. They're just critics of the Hall of Fame, by and large, in general, and would be no matter what they did. I'm a big Hall guy, have always owned that, acknowledged that, and am still that. And so I believe in a big Hall concept. I don't think everybody should get in, but at the same time, there's not a lot of people that have been inducted that I just go, probably not. There are some, but I can't mention them on this video because I get yelled at by people in the comment section. So, Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Were they Hall of Fame players? Undoubtedly. Did they make mistakes? Undoubtedly. And so where you have to land on that is, are they forever mistakes, or are they mistakes that can be redeemed at some point? And I'm not this isn't a moral argument to me. I'm more, what'd you do between the lines kind of guy. How good of a player were you? Curt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame. Give me a break. Regardless of what his political stance is on any issue or whatever, or if he pissed off the wrong writer, all of that's ridiculous. Curt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame as a player for what he did on the field. Rose and Jackson, gambling. Bonds, Clemens, that whole other group of PED guys, A-Rod, Palmeiro, McGuire, Sosa, all of which, by the way, I think should be in the Hall of Fame, or in the PED, and that's a different infraction, let's say. So let's just talk about the gambling thing. Do I think Pete Rose is a Hall of Fame player? Yes, absolutely. Would I vote for him? Yes, I would, actually, especially now that it's been reinstated. I would have voted for him before. And he never has been on a ballot. Shoeless Joe Jackson was never on a ballot. And it'll be interesting to see if indeed they do get on a ballot, because that's still not a slam dunk that they're going to even get on a ballot. I think they will, because at the end of the day, I think the Hall of Fame is about money, as is everything. I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. Capitalism is a good thing. So they will probably put them on the ballot whenever their appropriate era committee comes up. I watched an interview today, Dan Patrick interviewing Johnny Bench, and I really wanted to hear Johnny Bench's opinion, because at the end of the day, to me, the loudest voice is former players, former teammates. Those are the people. Johnny Bench knows what a Hall of Famer is. And Dan Patrick interviews Johnny Bench. First question he asks Johnny is, hey, do you think the commissioner did the right thing? And Johnny Bench says, yes, absolutely. What the question Dan Patrick did not ask Johnny Bench that I wish he would have is, would you vote for Pete Rose to be in the Hall of Fame? That's the answer I want to hear Johnny Bench give as to whether or not he would vote for him. Because, again, you can be on the ballot. That doesn't mean they're going to get voted in. Either one of them, Shoeless Joe or Pete Rose. Pete Rose has a better shot, I think, only because, well, I'll say this. That may not be true, actually. Pete Rose is so still... I remember when Pete Rose got banished in 1987 or whenever it was. I remember that. Lots of people that would be on that committee would also remember that. And so that's still fresh, relatively speaking, compared to Shoeless Joe Jackson, where his, infraction happened 106 years ago. And nobody's around that remembers that and what it did to baseball and how that tarnished the game. And crooked Kennesaw Mountain Landis, the absolute despicable human being that he was, who would never be in the Hall of Fame today, but is banished the, White Sox guys, 8 men out, all that good stuff. And Shoeless Joe Jackson, to me, though, got caught up in it. Could there be a case made that from somebody, a historian or somebody that would educate the voters on the full spectrum of the story? That would be interesting to see. And if that happened, I think Shoeless Joe Jackson actually has a better shot to get in. Pete Rose has admitted what he did. He's owned it. Took him a while to get there, but he did. And again, how long does someone have to pay a penance for that? I don't know. I don't know what the answer should be or is. I think that the lifetime ban makes sense to me. And when that person's lifetime is over, that should be over. But then you're robbing. It seems so cruel. It would seem so cruel to induct him now. Gosh, it's a dilemma. It's a pickle for sure for the Hall of Fame. I don't know. What he did was wrong. And to me, it feels like more of a excessive punishment that happened in both cases, Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose. But they didn't ask me. I did not get solicited by anyone to give an opinion of this, but I'm doing it anyway. So would I vote for Joe Jackson? Absolutely. Would I vote for Pete Rose? Absolutely. To me, the PED thing I've talked about ad nauseum and needs to be, that's a whole nother video. But in terms of this situation and what has just transpired and happened in baseball, I saw Frank's video. He doesn't think it's good for baseball. What kind of precedent does it set? Pete Rose will never enjoy being called a Hall of Famer. He has passed away. He will never enjoy that. So, to me, what does it hurt to reinstate him? Put him on the ballot. See what happens. He may not get in. There may be people that feel so strongly on the other side, whereas I feel strongly on one side. There will be plenty of people on the other side. You still have to get, of the 16 committee members, 12 of them to vote for you. Maybe that just doesn't happen. Maybe it doesn't happen for 10 years, 20 years, because those committees, although they'll probably change it 10 more times in the next decade, but as it stands now, those committees won't meet but every 2 or 3 years for that particular era. And so, it's not like you'll be on the ballot every year. This won't come up every year, but it will come up every few years. And it'll be a definite point of controversy, point of discussion and contention. I would love to hear down below what you think. Am I totally off base? It's okay if you think that. We can disagree about how this should be handled, how it has been handled. But Pete Rose was a Hall of Fame player, period. Joe Jackson was a Hall of Fame player, period. Yeah. made a mistake. They made mistakes. But what's the proper penance to be paid? Talk to you guys soon. Keep collecting.